Alright, what's the dealio? It's your boy Q. I already know what I'm finna get into. Alright, peace. You know the crazy thing, man, is if I told you that you have been lied to all your life, there's a high chance you wouldn't even believe me. If I told you everything that you have been programmed and conditioned to believe was all false indoctrination, you have been served false hope all your life, you probably wouldn't believe me. If I told you the truth, the exact truth, you would not want it. If I told you everything you saw was just an illusion, you probably wouldn't believe me. If I told you that your whole life you have consumed nothing but bullshit all your life. That's all you've been fed, and you consumed. You took it and you consumed it and you digested it. If I told you anticipated, you partaken, or if you were affiliated with bullshit all your life, you wouldn't even believe me. And that's the crazy part. Fucking fly in this bitch. Faggot ass fly. You wouldn't even believe me. If I told you you've had all the power, you have all the control to make your life what you want it to be, you wouldn't even believe me. If I told you you could be somebody in this life, you wouldn't even believe me. Just because your mom said it, you don't believe it. And I know that feeling. Just because your grandparents said it, you believe it. Just because dad said it, you believe it. Now your younger siblings look down upon you. They feel they're superior to you, so you believe it. Hell, your mom said it, so you believe it. I know the feeling all too well. Everything you have been programmed and conditioned to believe is a lie. From the school systems, from the church, from the doctors, the lawyers, the pastors, or the preachers, ministers, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They all have lied and deceived you. College, it's all fake shit. The news, it's all fake shit. Thinking it's okay to be a homosexual. You have been lied to. Worshiping athletes. Sir, you have been lied to. Ma'am, you have been lied to. Worshiping athletes and rappers and musicians and entertainers, comedians. You have been lied to. It's all a game. If I told you Hollywood is Holly weird, you wouldn't believe me. If I told you they think that it's okay to turn children out at a very young age, being pedophiles, you wouldn't believe me. If I told you the only book you really need to read is the Bible, you'd argue me down. You wouldn't believe me. You would say it's the white man's book. If I told you just 50% of black history, real black history, you wouldn't believe me. If I told you you were the original man, black man, you wouldn't believe me. You would argue me down. You wouldn't believe me. Even though you get proof on a daily basis that you the one, you wouldn't believe me. If I told you that you can make this shit happen, you can get this shit popping, you can get this shit jumping, you wouldn't believe me. If I told you with all this information that we have while we growing up in this internet world, this internet era, this social media era, if I told you we could do things, we could fuck shit up, you wouldn't believe me. You think about my generation, the people from the late 90s, from the early 2000s, that's me. That's the decade I was born. I was born in the 2000s, early 2000s, 03, 2003. If I told you that all the kids or the people from the late 90s, early 2000s, if I told you we were the ones that could change this world, make a big impact, if we could be the ones, if we were the ones, because we are the ones, if I told you we could set the next example and change this world, have a big impact, a big positive light on this world and change people's thought process, you wouldn't believe me, even though it's right there in your fucking face. Why you think we like the most hated generation of all time? All of us from the late 90s through the early 2000s, we like the most hated generation of all time. People swear we got it easy, like we don't go through nothing. Life ain't hard for y'all. When I was coming up, we ain't had no things. Why you think? Why you think? And that's my problem? That's my fault? Everything from your history, from your health, spiritual background, religion, it's all bullshit. But you took it. You took it and you ran with it. So that's your fault. Everybody has told you, thousands of people have told you suck. But if I told you was a goat and you was a king, if I told you was strong, they all told you was weak. But if I told you was strong, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. If I told you most people walking this planet are very insecure, you wouldn't believe it. If I told you we was living in the last days, you wouldn't believe it. If I told you right now, sir, ma'am, that you have full control of your destination in this life, you wouldn't believe it. Cause see, I realized something. There's a lot of people walking around in life, and they rambling, scrambling, dazzling in life, and they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they doing. They don't know what the fuck they want. So they just follow the crowd and do what everybody else is doing. A lot of people talk a lot of shit and say a lot of shit, but they actions speak. You don't really want it. You don't really want change. A lot of people don't really want change. They just like to talk this shit. They don't really want to chase their dreams. People ain't even really inspired to chase their dreams. They have them. They'll talk about them all day, but they ain't really inspired to chase them. They ain't really inspired to chase them. Because you don't really want it. But you'll work a job 9 to 5, go to college to get a good degree, a quote unquote good degree. I mean, high school diploma and everything, yeah, that's cool. But instead of learning a trade, learning some skills, something that has actual value, you'll go to school for another 4 plus the 8 years to get scammed. You'll be in debt. You'll be low in money immediately, working under somebody else's name, helping someone else's pockets get fat, while you just praying to God you don't get fat. Type of shit is that? You've been lied to all your life. And you don't know the true powers within you that you hold. And that's sad. Most people don't. And that's sad. Don't forget to like my video, share, comment, subscribe. Like the video, hit the notification button to get all vids. Holla back.